I think we've all had times in our faith where we became frustrated because we prayed to God for something we really, truly needed, but it just felt like God just ignored us. Like, it's bad enough to be left on red by humans, but from God, boy, that hits different. What I'm about to talk about in this video is a perspective that changed everything for me. It's a truth that God had been trying to get me to realize for so long, but I was just stubborn and I was completely blind to it. So yesterday, I actually experienced a miracle. The night before, I had one of the worst nights of sleep I've had in a long time. I went to bed at like midnight and I couldn't stay asleep. Woke up at like 2, woke up at 4, woke up at 6, and I had to get up at 6:30, and I couldn't sleep in because I had a very busy day. I'm actually teaching some students about Christian content creation, so I had to attend to that. I had to attend to my clients. I had other duties, and I was extremely tired. And I forced myself to still go into my time of prayer, my Bible reading, and I prayed to God. I said, God, I am so tired. But then I was reminded through my Bible reading that if God has done something for you in the past, do not doubt that he can do it again. And in that moment, I remembered that many times in the past, God had provided rest for me and got me through days when I was extremely tired. So why would I doubt that he could do it for me that day? And lo and behold, I went through that day. I had an amazing day. I had lots of energy. And that night when I finally got to unwind, I was ready to go to sleep. I felt this urge that I needed to seek the Lord. And I was like, God, like, this is my time to actually catch up on my sleep. It was like 9:30, and I went into a time of prayer and just seeking the Lord and meditating and worshiping. And I was in there for over 3 hours, and I didn't go to bed until past midnight. And even when I went to lay down, I still wasn't tired. And I kind of laughed because I was like, man, I was worried about not having enough rest. I asked the Lord and he gave me an abundance, and now it's the end of the day and I still can't fall asleep. That was an absolute miracle, because even though scientifically it doesn't make sense why I had all this energy and why even at the end of the day, after staying up late, I still had so much energy and I wasn't tired, I received this message from God. And that is that God will put us through events or paths in life to reveal to us the areas where we lack faith. Okay, some of y'all ain't there yet, but this passage I'm about to read is definitely going to clarify it. So bear with me. This truth will shake your full perspective on faith. So it comes out of Mark chapter 9, starting verse 14. And when they came to the disciples, this is Jesus, Peter, John, and James, they saw a great crowd around them and scribes arguing with them. And immediately all the crowd, when they saw him, were greatly amazed and ran up to him and greeted him. And he asked them, what are you arguing about with them? And someone from the crowd answered him, Teacher, I brought my son to you, for he has a spirit that makes him mute. And whenever it seizes him, it throws him down, and he foams and grinds his teeth and becomes rigid. So I asked your disciples to cast it out, and they were not able. And he answered them, O faithless generation, how long am I to be with you? How long am I to bear with you? Bring him to me. And they brought the boy to him, and when the spirit saw him, immediately it convulsed the boy, and he fell on the ground and rolled about, foaming at the mouth. And Jesus asked his father, how long has this been happening to him? And he said, from childhood, and it has often cast him into fire and into water to destroy him. But if you can do anything, have compassion on us and help us. And Jesus said to him, if you can, all things are possible for one who believes. Immediately the father of the child cried out and said, I believe, help my unbelief. And when Jesus saw that a crowd came running together, he rebuked the unclean spirit, saying to it, you mute and deaf spirit, I command you, come out of him and never enter him again. And after crying out and convulsing him terribly, it came out, and the boy was like a corpse, so that most of them said, he is dead. But Jesus took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he arose. And when he had entered the house, his disciples asked him privately, why could we not cast it out? And he said to them, this kind cannot be driven out by anything but prayer. So the point is, this child that had a demon could not be delivered because of a lack of faith, because of unbelief. And the prayer that finally allowed this child to be released was the father saying, Jesus, help my unbelief. It wasn't more tactics. It wasn't a different person. The disciples themselves struggle with unbelief. That's why Jesus said this kind can only be solved by prayer, which is seeking the presence of God, seeking God himself. That is the answer. The truth is, we think we know our hearts, but we truly don't. God is the only one who knows our hearts. He is the only one who knows the things that we need to work on. So he does that through the events that we go through in life. So sometimes it's something that we're going through, we feel like it's a curse, we feel like it's a punishment, but truly it's God working out of us the thing that we need to pay attention to. He's saying, hey, this is where you lack faith, where you lack belief. So even though you are extremely tired right here, you don't need rest. You need more of me. This is what a relationship with God truly looks like. Yes, you may trust God with your time on a Sunday when you go to church, or on a Wednesday night when there's prayer, or for 10 minutes before you go to bed, you might trust him with that time to pray to him. But do you actually believe that he is the God over your anatomy? That even if you're working a 9-to-5 full-time job all day, or if you're in classes all day and then you have to go to work and you don't have the energy to wake up early before school or work, or stay up later to spend time with him, do you believe that if you actually command your body to stay awake and find that time and actually dedicate to him, that he will actually give you more energy even though you're having less sleep? Do you avoid fasting because you feel like you won't have enough energy to get through the day? Or do you actually have enough belief in God that somehow, supernaturally, when you avoid food in pursuit of Christ, you will actually have more energy than if you had eaten that day? Or for example, your finances. We seek money for what it gives us. You don't seek money for money itself. You don't go to your job and get paid so you can take out the money and, oh, look how beautiful this dollar bill is, I'm just going to collect it, I'm just going to hang it up on the wall. No, we seek money for what it can provide. And what does money provide us? Comfort, security, peace. So the question is, do you trust God enough? Do you have enough faith that he can provide a comfort, a security, and a peace that is far greater than finances could ever provide you? The point I'm trying to make here, the perspective that I'm trying to reveal to you, is that when we're left up to our own devices, when we left up to what we think is best for us, we seek solutions that are insufficient, that are not absolute abundant solutions in themselves. And that's why through the seemingly painful events of life, God puts us through these pathways in a lifestyle that reveals to us how we are lacking in faith. I love that you read your Bible for 10 minutes a day. I love that you go to church. I love that you have these routines, but what is that thing that God is trying to pull out of you to show you like, hey, you don't trust me here. This is where you lack faith. This is where you could have more of me. Yes, you are tired. God knows you are tired, but you don't need more rest. Yes, you're broke right now. God knows you're broke, but you don't need more money. Yes, you are confused right now. Yes, you seek a relationship, but you don't need that person. You don't need that clarity. You don't need the answer to every single question that you have. All you need is Jesus. Do you actually believe that he is the true answer, and that seeking him will give you the rest, will give you the security, the hope, the peace, the comfort, the fulfillment, everything that you desire from the blessings that you seek? He's trying to teach you that it's not about the blessings themselves. It's not about praying for these specific things. It's about seeking the source of blessings. It's about seeking Jesus and his righteousness, and then everything else, that comfort, that peace, that hope, security, everything that you seek as a result of the materials that you've been praying for, then it will be added to you. Seek Jesus first. I love you guys so much. I love making these videos, and I love serving you in the best capacity that I can. Knowing that God is pursuing you through me, that he's using me, that's the greatest fulfillment I could ever receive. Even when I'm tired, even when I'm struggling, even when I have my own battles in my personal life, I make sure I commit to being a servant to you and being a servant to God, because that is my duty, that is my responsibility, and I thank the Lord for this blessing. But don't let it just stop with receiving this word or whatever you receive from this video. Hop in the comment section below, talk about your experiences, be open, confess your sins to one another so that you may be healed. Pray for one another, because it's more blessed to give than it is to receive. Learn what it is to fully live life as a servant and not just a receiver. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and also helps push this video to other people who may need to hear this message as well. I love you. May God bless you. May he continue to pursue you. May he continue to open the eyes of your heart. And may you realize through the events of life that it's not just painful punishment, but it's actually God showing his grace and revealing to you how you can have so much more if you just see that he is the answer and he is the solution. Man, God bless you. Y'all have a great one. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.